In 1995, Sanders and the Lions suffered their fourth straight playoff defeat. After a 5-11 record the following season, the front office was forced to act.
If you haven't gotten yourself to the Super Bowl, there's an empty feeling inside. And I can tell you from this very moment on that's going to be the direction and the goal of our football program here with the Detroit Lions.
I played for Coach Ross at University of Maryland for 3 years. I knew whatever we did was going to be successful under his leadership. And, you know, there was a little frustration from some people. Why are we putting the fullback in the backfield, putting more people in the box when we have the explosive running back?
What is the basic problems with the system right now?
The bad offense they're running them out of. In fact, it's a non-existent offense.
I think his dad had some differences with me, primarily between the one back and the two back.
Barry needs spaces to run, and he can't have those spaces out of a power eye because with the defense is set up to play you. You've got to use wide receivers, preferably 4 wide receivers, spread the defense out.
The start of the 97 season was frustrating. It was difficult for us. After 2 games, Barry had a total of 53 yards.
I remember after the first 2 weeks of that season, just saying, what is going on here?
We got off to a slow start, and we weren't using him enough. I mean, there's no question about that. We needed to use him more.
The Lions knew that he was their guy, and they got him the opportunity to do his thing in space, which is a smart thing. And that's why 2,000 yards was a possibility.
Barry Sanders cut back over the middle, got free to the 25, 30, he's off to the races, 40, midfield, 40, it's a foot race to the 30, he slowed up but keeps going to the 10, 5, and touchdown, 80 yards.
Barry went on a streak of 14 consecutive games with 100-plus yards.
Folks, he's the best in the business. Someday you'll be able to say, I saw the best running back in football, ever.
I'm pretty sure early in the season, no one imagined that would be the year. That's really tough to get 2,000 yards. I had come close a few years prior where I was only 100 and some yards away. I wanted it, but I realized that it's really tough.
Sanders entered the final game of the regular season, needing 131 yards to reach the milestone. At halftime, he had 111 yards to go.
I always had the patience of my mom, and I always felt like, the next one could be the one.
Barry cut back, now he's got it, 50, 40, he's well over 2,000 now, 30, look out, right side 20, 15 to the 10, to the 5,
The 53-yard run assured Detroit a playoff berth, as Sanders became only the 3rd running back to break the 2,000-yard barrier.
Congratulations to you, Barry. It didn't seem as though after the first 3 quarters you were going to have a chance at 2,000.
Well, we've developed into a really patient offense.
But for Barry's father, William,
but I just needed to focus on
the historic accomplishment did nothing to change the status of his son.
And if that means blocking and catching, running around.
Everybody's going to tell you that Barry Sanders is better than Jim Brown.
Well, them guys don't know. I know football too. and most people agree with me. Most people don't want no criticism. So they'll go along.
William Sanders and I hung out a lot. He had that thing about who's the best runner, Jim Brown or his son, you know.
Mr. Sanders, what does that mean to you from your son?
Jocko, believe me, I don't feel good for me. I feel good for the city of Detroit. Because this means they can go on another day. They can go to another playoff game.
Well, he didn't really praise his son that much.
Ready to go.
Congrats, Coach. Congratulations. All right.
Fantastic. Very proud for you.
Thank you.
He was happy, but he didn't want to brag.
Congratulations, B. All right, great job, man.
He said, I let everyone else talk about Barry Sanders.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very proud. Thanks.
Coming up,
The feeling I had through all of it was that he would be back, but that didn't happen.
Downtown Detroit, they had a big mural of him on one of the buildings and just signified, how big he was in this city.
You play this game to win Super Bowls. And once you had a taste of the playoff and you feel like the organization is not moving in that direction and you are the guy and you're risking your neck, your body, your mind, and you feel like they're not putting out the same kind of effort and you're losing, it's not fun. And once you start picking at a guy's love for the game, you lost him.
There was probably some players that I thought it was a big mistake to get rid of. At the time, and while I played, it was definitely something that hurt.
Those personnel decisions that were made as a group organizational decision, they were tough. I understand Barry may be frustrated. I was frustrated.
1 year after eclipsing the 2,000-yard mark, Barry Sanders entered Week 17, knowing that it might be the final game of his career.
Over the next few years, it looked like we would probably be rebuilding, and we had gotten rid of some really good players, and it felt like it was time to make a change.
A disappointing season for Barry Sanders and the Detroit Lions.
I knew going into that game that was pretty much it, and so I remember after the game I just broke down. I didn't really say what was going on. I was glad to get out of there.
The feeling I had through all of it was that he would be back, but that didn't happen.
I struggled with it. I struggled with it all off season, and really just kind of waited till the last minute.
He called and said, I'm thinking of finally doing it. I'm going to retire. He issued the statement, which was released through Wichita Eagle newspaper.
Pretty much called the Lions day before training camp, let them know. And then afterwards, for the next couple weeks, got on a plane, went to London, hung out for a little bit.
Ironic, Barry Sanders' father thinks Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time. 34 years ago, Brown retired suddenly in the prime of his career. Ditto Barry Sanders, the only man who's ever gained 1,000 yards 10 straight seasons, will retire Wednesday, not with the press conference, but with a statement, and Barry will not be available for comments.
Sometimes when people retire, it's almost an opportunity for their close-up. And Barry wanted to exit, stage right, and he went all the way to London.
Sanders less than 1,500 yards shy of breaking Peyton's career rushing record. So barring injury, this was really just a matter of time before the record was Barry's.
As he left town, it became speculation on why he retired. Rumors. None of them ever coming from Barry.
People said, well, he didn't want to break Walter Payton's record. I don't know if that's true or not.
I understood full well who Walter Payton was, what he had accomplished. Not just Walter Payton, but all the guys that had tried to do what Walter did. The record for me wasn't important enough to force myself to stay around and to try to get the record.
I heard that Miami basically had a deal worked out where it was going to be almost like another Herschel Walker type of deal. They wanted Barry. The Lions told him that either you're going to play for us or you're not going to play for anybody.
No. I mean, I didn't hate the Lions, and I wasn't trying to go anywhere else.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories, and I think people sometimes we really like conspiracy theories, but in this instance, I don't think there are.
Had things been different with the team, I don't know if I would have made the same decision. Had we been coming off a Super Bowl victory or a deep run into the playoffs, I don't know. I just felt like I had run out of steam. At that 10th year, I just felt like that was my time. That was it. I had had enough. I had played the game long enough. And that real drive and determination and enjoyment of the game had left.
You had a lot of people that were mad at Barry. Why? I never understood that.
We're talking about Barry and his reputation, whether it's ruined for good in this town. I've got an email right here that says, until yesterday, O.J. was my least favorite NFL runner, but he only stabbed 2 people in the back.
I would have rather he'd been truthful up front, and he could have kept his respect and his dignity.
There were guys who definitely were upset that he had left, and there were some guys who felt like he had left the team hanging.
I would like to say it doesn't hurt and it doesn't bother us, but how can you ignore, Barry being gone? And you want to have high hopes and say you'd like to achieve greatness, but it's a huge hole missing. It's not just any running back, it's Barry.
For him to give it 10 glorious years, the years that he gave that game, to me, how could you be mad at the person for walking away?
As players and media and people, when was the right time for him to do it? It's Barry. Barry don't want a big retirement party. He don't want to be on ESPN and ABC and all that stuff.
I have answered a lot of questions about my retirement, but as someone who is a football fan, I'm pretty sure that I would have been disappointed as a fan had Tony Dorsett retired in his prime. I may have even shed some tears.
And Emmitt Smith has now passed Barry Sanders into second place on the NFL's all-time rushing list.
Well, Barry and it was never really one of those things, I'm better than you, you better than me, and I'm better than you, I rush him. No. We were friends.
I watched Emmitt. I watched Emmitt break the record. I wasn't very surprised that he would get it.
Emmitt Smith has eclipsed Walter Payton as the NFL's all-time rushing leader.
There's no doubt in any of our minds that Barry would have been the all-time leading rusher. When you look at when Emmitt Smith ended up getting that honor, a lot of people looked at it and said, well, it's kind of an asterisk beside it. You got it because Barry no longer wanted to play. Otherwise, Barry would be the guy holding that crown.
If Barry would have played 15 years, that record could have been 25,000 yards. And Emmitt always said, I'm glad he retired.
We wouldn't even be talking about Emmitt. Emmitt would be in second place. There's no way. That record has been so far out there. We knew that. I think Emmitt knows that.
That's why they still have the debates in the bars. It's not enough. No matter what you do, it's never enough. And no matter what you do, people are going to talk about you, regardless, whether it's positive or negative. Bottom line is, what I've done, I've done. And there's nothing we can do to go back and change it. I'm 43 years old. I'm not trying to get back in a uniform, and neither is Barry Sanders. So all the wish thinking and all that kind of stuff, it's over. Let it go.
For me, I'm in a special class in that category that's played this game. And knowing what I know and seeing what I've seen, for me, that's very fulfilling. And that's fulfilling enough to be satisfied with where I sit, with wherever history wants to put me. And I'm not going to argue with them.
After 10 years of professional football, Barry Sanders earned more praise from his father for walking away from the game than he ever did by running with the football.
God, I'm so proud of him. Because it takes guts to have done what he did last night, today. Because the average guy would not have done it. The average football player would have been trying to set records and trying to hang on to the end. And he walked away at the height of his career. And that really takes guts.